At about 5 o'clock, the engine started making a little strange noise. It was going and finally it died. My uneducated guess is
So Wendy and I decided to sail on to Senegal on this drizzly afternoon. Weather forecasted mild weather for the next 3 days, so we cruised through that weather window.
Well, we're still on the motor, but I've hoisted the mainsail. It stabilizes the boat, and I've got a better angle on the wind. And then once I get past the island, we can get an even better angle at the wind, but according to the predictions, the wind's gonna die tonight and tomorrow, and then it should be good, so we will see. But it's all right. Good sail for the moment. Sun's out, had a little bit of rain, and now it's nice. Like Wendy said, I trust Wendy.
I'm talking about Wendy, the Wind app, a must-have for sailors.
So here's the story this morning. At about 5 o'clock, the engine started making a strange noise. It was not keeping steady. And then I slowed down a little bit, and it was going, and finally it died. My uneducated guess is we've run out of diesel. Luckily, I've got about 60 liters here, so that should get us through. I'm going to try to put it in a little later. The wind is about 12 knots. Boat is moving 4 or 5 knots, so it's okay. And hopefully I won't have to purge the injectors. So the only thing is that the wind is again a headwind and off course a little bit. Our bearing isn't great. We should be going almost directly east, and we're going a little bit southeast. But that's all right, because I think the wind is supposed to change tomorrow, and we can make up that ground by having a better angle, because the wind will be coming more from the north. So let's see what happens with this diesel issue. Get this all going again. If not, well, got the sails, and it won't be the first time I sailed into Dakar without an engine.
The ocean was mild with its rolling swell. So hypnotizing, man. Things were looking good. A big pod of dolphins passed by, and that's always a good sign. And there was more good news on the horizon.
Okay, it's almost sunset. Here's what happened today. I got up about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because I heard not a very nice sound on my engine. Actually, it was just kind of like revving and slowing down, and it seemed like it was like having a hard time breathing. And I was like, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? Put it in neutral. Next thing you know, it stops. Just dies. I'm like, okay. Well, hoisted the sails. Went back to sleep. So I'm going to figure this out when it's daylight and everything. I brought 50 liters of diesel with me. So I had a feeling that I probably ran out of gas. So a couple hours later, when it's daylight, fill it up with gas, try to turn over, nothing. I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna have to purge the injectors, the fuel system. So I did that, nothing going. Had about 10 knots of wind and we were doing about 4 knots. I was like, okay, it's not that bad. I'm gonna go lay down and think about this. A little later, I thought about what I didn't think of, the fuel filter. That happened to me when I crossed the Atlantic. The boat I was taking across had a problem with the fuel filter. I had an extra fuel filter. It's always great to have extra parts. So I went, changed the fuel filter, and you could tell in there it was a little dirty and stuff. So I was like, changed the fuel filter, pumped it up, purged the air from the new fuel filter that goes into the fuel pump, or the injector pump, because I know my shit. Waited there until air came out. Wendy was helping me. Then purged the injectors one by one. Didn't turn over. But I could see, I said, well, let's do it again. And Wendy helped me turn over the engine. Air is coming out of the injectors. So I was like, I think, keep going, until I finally saw fuel. And on the last injector, Simone started. So now we're motoring because, thank goodness, because now there's like 5 knots of wind. And I think it's going to be going on like this all night. It's so strange being in the Atlantic with hardly any wind. And so, thank God the engine is working, because otherwise, we'd be stuck here in these doldrums, at least until tomorrow when the wind picks up. So, we'll see what happens tomorrow and over the night. So, that was today's adventure.
We motored through the night until finally the wind picked up in the morning.
So here's what's happening so far. We had the motor on all night. It was like 4 or 5 knots of wind. And the thing I think is a blessing in disguise is that since I ran out of gas, which is my opinion, all the dirt and everything like that was in the gas tank got caught in the filter, which I had to change, and I put in more gas. So to me, it signifies that the gas tank is pretty clean and purged, and now it's even cleaner. So when shit happens, sometimes shit happens for a good reason.
It was the best of conditions for Wendy's first several-day passage. She had settled in and went with the flow. She's fit to sail the oceans. She now can be called Wendy the Sailor Girl.
out on this big container ship. He's been crossing our path for a while, it seems like, and I think he's definitely passing in front of us. Not too worried. He's speedy. He's huge. Conditions are they pretty broad reach. Been uncomfortable all night. We're mostly like that. I'm gonna hoist more mainsail and use that as my main force. But right now, I'm keeping an eye out on this ship, man. It's huge.
Hello, welcome to Galopin. These are our studios, man. This is where the magic happens. It's humble, but it gets the job done. It's because of the great people like you on Patreon who make this happen. This Living Adventure series. I hope you'll join our community. We've got some extra perks like live updates, news, photos, videos, and I've even taken a stab at writing some short stories which are not for general audiences on YouTube. And our friend Graham from Australia set up a WhatsApp chat to aptly called Galopin's Cockpit. Guys from all over have joined, and it's this community that's contributing to the continuation of this Living Adventure series. If not, you can always watch us for free on YouTube. Make sure to give us a like or a dislike, make a comment, make your opinion heard. I'll try to get back to you. Thanks for watching this episode of Voyage, a real living adventure series. It's not fake, baby.